So today we're going to be talking about core values. So the core values of Cosens Martial Arts. So as you may know, Cosens Martial Arts is a life skill-based academy. We use martial arts to teach kids things like focus, control, discipline, and then we teach them how to use those skills in their everyday lives. We also deal with adult students. Adult students come to us for all different types of reasons. Some come to us because they're looking for an alternative form of workout, self-defense, maybe they just want to be part of a team, and then some people actually do train with us for competition. So core values are extremely important because as a company we need to know exactly who we are, the non-negotiables, basically what do we live by, and where we're going. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Charlie Cosens. I'm with a chain of martial arts studios in Michigan. Currently, as of 2024, we have 8 locations, and we'll be growing to 15 locations in the next 2 to 3 years. So we're going to be going over our core values today. So if you're watching this, you may be considering possibly joining our team as a staff member. And this is not a company where you hear about your core values, on the first day of orientation, and then you never hear about them again. We live by these values. They are front and center all the time. Like I said before, they are non-negotiables. When we bring on staff, we make sure that they either currently align with these principles or that they can align with these principles. And then also, the staff that we have, we need to make sure that they're all living up to these core values. And that's our job as managers to make sure that that happens. So we have 4 values that we live by. The number 1 is progression. I'm going to read this. We have our fancy cards. I'm going to read our definition word for word. It's very important to me that this comes across right. So the way that we define progression: to commit to a life of never-ending improvement, never being satisfied with mediocrity, and always striving to become a better person and a professional. When I started this business 15 years ago, I made a decision that I was only going to surround myself with people that are always getting better. You're the product of your surroundings. So in order for us to grow, the team must always improve, whether that's athletically, as a business person, as a salesperson, as a martial artist, spiritually, whatever it may be. If you're around people that are getting better, naturally that makes a nice culture. It's a nice place to work. If you've ever worked for a place or with a business where everybody shows up to work miserably, it probably means they're doing the same mundane thing over and over again, and they're feeling no progression in their life. Like, progression makes you happy, right? If you think about the happiest times in your life, you've probably been moving forward. You're getting better at a sport, you're an athletic, maybe you're watching your kids get better, you're improving mentally, maybe you've studied self-help. During those times, you feel progression. So that's why it is absolutely number 1 on our list. Again, progression. You must always get better. Number 2 is sincere humbleness. And the way that we define sincere humbleness is trusting and following the path that leadership has paved and never allowing ego to get in the way of our team mission. So at the beginning of Cosens Martial Arts, we basically were a giant fight team, right? That's what I did. I fought MMA back in the Wild West of MMA, when 2009, 2015, in that era. It wasn't regulated in Michigan, so there's fights all over the place. So I managed a lot of amateur competitors. So what I found through that taught me a lot. I'm glad I went through it. But what that taught me is that when people think they know everything and their ego gets too big, immediately they stop getting better or they stop progressing. In life, there's always going to be somebody bigger, badder, smarter, and tougher than you. Always. And if you don't have that realization, you will not grow as an individual. So being humble allows us to coach you because you're humble and you're coachable. That is why sincere humbleness is number 2 on our list. Number 3 on our list is competitive greatness. So the way that we define competitive greatness: to give your best when your best is needed, be results and outcome based. Our profession is very much a performance profession. Our instructors have to get up in front of people every day and perform. With the kids specifically, we have parents. There might be 20, 30 parents that are sitting there watching them. So it doesn't matter if their dog died, their girlfriend broke up with them, they're going through a divorce, whatever. Things happen on the outside. They've made the decision that right there, right then, that is the most important thing in their life. And the reason why is because if it wasn't, they would be doing something else. Okay, so when they get on that mat, they have to be competitively great, they have to turn it on, and they have to give the best value that they can, to their students. I really believe in being where your feet are. So if I'm here right now doing this video, I'm giving you the best that I possibly can. Because if I need to be doing something else, I would be. And that's basically what we ask our staff to live up to. And then finally, number 4 is something called fear not. We define fear not as never let fear control your decisions. So I give you a little fable or story I heard a long time ago. It's a really simple, kind of like a kid's story, but it really hit me. So up west, next to the Rocky Mountains, there was a farmer, and the farmer had a herd of buffalo and a herd of cows. And he noticed that every time a storm would come over the mountains, like there was mountains, and then he had a prairie where all of his cattle and his buffalo were. He would notice that storms would come over the mountain, and the buffaloes would run at the storm, because his thought and his idea where the buffalo knew that if they got to the storm and they ran through it, that they wouldn't have to endure it as long, right? They wouldn't have to get wet and cold and be miserable. He noticed the cows, when they would see a storm, they would run all the way to the other side of the pasture and try to get away from it. So inevitably, it would prolong their suffering. So if you think about that, like, who do you want to be? Do you want to be that buffalo that charges towards things and goes at the pain? Or do you want to run away from your problems? Inevitably, all pain can be linked to procrastination. In business specifically, there's a lot of things that happen that may be hard conversations, things I don't want to do, things that I dread doing. And if we do those things, that's really what separates us from other people or other competitors. Because there's other people in life that are walking pretty close to the same life that we are, doing the same job that we are, right? And they're getting confronted with the exact same challenges. And what makes us different, what makes us grow, what makes us better and give more value to people is that we have the ability and the bravery to push through those hard times, run towards the pain, and then we grow. Right? There's really no growth without pain. That's just the way life works. So again, those are our core values. This is what we live by. Again, I'm really big on making sure that we know who we are, so that if we set a goal together, we're going to accomplish that goal, because you can't travel, you can't move forward if you don't know who you are. We have a goal right now in the next 2.5 years. It's called OTOD. It stands for One Team, One Dream. Our goal as a team is to achieve 1,100 active students. That those students have attended at least 4 classes for the past month. Our goal is to, again, obtain 1,100 students, actually by the end of this year. It's 2024. And if we do that, we're going to donate $10,000 to a cancer organization. We believe in what we're doing. We believe in ourselves. We believe in our core values. If this interests you, or if you want to be part of the team, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you. Thank you.